the sacrifice of accepting the bag right now versus having equity in your art in perpetuity?
Here's what a lot of people don't know. The budgets for my shows are really, really low.
Okay.
And the reason that they're so low is because being a black show, being a black writer, they do models for me. Mm-hmm. Even my movies, my budgets are really low. Mm-hmm. I see white boys walk in and they get 4 or 5 times as much as and make nowhere near.
Right.
Being black, I had to go into these rooms and try to figure out, okay, how do I make this work for me? So I was like, okay, I own the studio, I own the lights, I own the sound, I own all this stuff. So here's what I'll do. I'll go in, I'll take that lower budget, and I'll make it work. And my audience is going to show up, and they're going to make it work, and they're going to make it a hit.
Right.
And every few years, we're going to try to negotiate to get that number higher. Mm-hmm. But in that, I'm doing all the sacrificing. I'm making sure everybody else is paid and get what they want, but my sacrifice comes on the end because it's part of my catalog.
Okay.
So that's where my value is. I'm not making the money up front. It's in the long game, right? So if you go in there and you're looking for the bag, then great. You go buy your Bentley, your Rolls Royce, great. That's all.
It's over with.
That's wonderful. You've had it, but then what you've done is signed it all away.
Right.
They own you, and they're never going to give you an opportunity to be in that position again.
I think a lot of people need to hear that. I believe a lot of people need to hear that. Do you know or remember what it was that made the shift in your head to go from stage play to feature film?
Yeah, it was the people loving the stories that I was telling and not having enough seats in the theater. We were selling, man, I was exhausted. I was doing over 360 performances a year.
What?
I kid you not, man. My work ethic is off the Richter, man. I work my ass off. So I'm on tour doing these shows, and I'm like, I got to find a way to get to more people. So I think, okay, let's try film. Go to Hollywood. They're like, well, who are you? What do you do? And I'm famous with black people. I can't walk down the street in the South without being like, my dear Tyler, right? Get to Hollywood. They're like, well, I don't know, Tyler. And why does she say, give me some sugar on this page? Well, sugar? Why does she want to change it? Well, that's how black people talk, man.
Right.
You know, so in understanding all of that, it's just,
how much of a translation did you have to do? Because I imagine there's an incredible amount of translation, especially when you turn your film in.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there are comments that come from executives like, well, I don't know about this part, and why does this have to be in there?
Nope.
You have full control creatively.
I went to Fox Searchlight was the first place, and they gave me all those notes about changing things. I said, I'm not changing anything. This is the way it's going to be, or I'm not doing it.
Right.
They were like, who the hell do you think you are? but they didn't know I had an army behind me, man. I had all these people watching my shows,
ready to show up,
bootlegging it all over the place.
Right.
So then this agent Charles King's marching me all around.
Charles King is another king in the business.
Great agent, man.
You know, Charles King.
Now he's doing his own thing in macro.
Absolutely.
Trying to get all these different conversations going. I'm like, I'm out of here. Forget this, man. I don't need this headache.
Right.
So I go to Atlanta and I get a call from Lionsgate, and they say, well, we want to do the movie with you. I'm like, okay, great. Then I don't want any notes. I'm going to do it my way. It's going to be da-da-da-da. And he was like, okay.
And this is Feldheimer at Lionsgate?
No. This is Pasternak, Mike Pasternak.
Okay, Pasternak.
So I had a great conversation with Mike, man. And I'm like, I was shocked that he said, okay.
Okay.
Put the movie, they looked at the movie, I shot it, they saw it, they were like, we don't know. I had a conversation with Felt my first time meeting him, and he's like, I said, how much do you want the movie to do? He said, well, if it does $20 million, then great. I said, okay, $20 million the first weekend. He laughed at me at the table. No, these kind of movies don't do those numbers. Went online, talked to because I had built a fan base before Twitter, Instagram, all this other stuff. I had my online emailed them directly, told them what was going on. They went out there, man, and set that thing up well up over $20 million the first weekend.